Haunted. Hey there, StarCraft fans, Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Fedora Remastered today on Polestar. Gonna be Effort, gonna be Shinee. Neither of these guys are in ASL 21. They did not qualify. One, because he tried to qualify but couldn't. Shinee and Effort because he kind of mixed up how he had to qualify. So let's see how they do against each other today. Top right, it is Effort. Top left, it is Shinee. Shinee, kind of sad story, right? I've been talking about Shinee for years. He got banned from ASL years ago because he didn't show up to a couple of matches. ASL got mad at him, and they lifted the restriction on him competing in ASL this year for ASL 21. So he tried to qualify and did not qualify. Very tragic story. And again, Effort here thought he had qualified by playing in an open for the ASL, but that is not how you get in there, and he had no idea about that. And then the registration deadline closed, and he's out. So both players here have regrets for ASL 21 here on Polestar. Thanks RJB for the replay. Click that like button if you are interested in seeing more Falcon Paladin and promoting him on the YouTube. And if you're on mobile and tap the like button, you can also hype it, which just means giving smaller content creators a little bit of a boost on the algorithm on YouTube. So if you do that, I appreciate you. Terry the Overlord scouting the wrong direction, but that's okay. That's right, Terry. You were going the wrong direction, but you're going to live to boot. Hatch first here from Effort. We got ourselves walling off at the top of his ramp to the main base. Ooh, is it going to be a one-base opener here? There is some gas coming in. Is this going to be a two-port? Is Shinee going to two-port Effort? I did cast a light versus, oh, who was it? I want to say Hero. TVZ, where it was a one-port and then a two-port opening against the Zerg player, and it was super exciting. If you like non-standard TVZ, you need to check that one out as well. So there's the pool, there's the gas, there's the early gas, and there's going to be a factory coming up soon. Maybe it's just going to be a one-base play here, a one-base opener here from Shinee. Let's check it out. Drone says, barracks here, interesting. Couldn't go ahead and pause the construction on the barracks. A little bit too late for that, but that's okay. Daryl the drone did his best, but he knows it's a barracks at the top of the ramp here instead of over here. So what's it going to be, man? Is it going to be just super early mech, super early vulture, or is it going to be wraiths? We'll have to keep an eye on this in the production tab. Pool just about done. Hatch just about done as well. That's what happens when you go hatch first. It lines up nicely that way. Steve the SCV here, merch available at falconpaladin.store with Steve's face on it. Says, oh, it's a hatch first. Ahaha, yes indeed. Very good. I like that. There's the factory. There's the gas. Only one SCV on gas here. So I think it's just going to be an early vulture into mech off of one base. Interesting, very weird build from Shinee. And yeah, saving it for an expansion. And then maybe we will fully resaturate that gas. Ling chasing around Steve. He doesn't have speed yet, and he's not going to have speed for a while because Lair is on the way instead of Metabolic Boost. As per usual, 2-hatch Muta here is very safe, very standard, very dangerous, and Zerg players love it for that reason. And there's a starport. Okay, so now there we go, fully saturating the gas into a starport with the second base here with a Vulture to defend against Lings. There we go, killing a Ling, earning his keep. Is our Vulture bike pilot here? I guess he's a driver, not a pilot. I don't know, looking sharp in his red jumpsuit to match the red Vulture he is piloting today. Always doing color coordination. Our Vulture bike pilots. Got a Spire on the way, no real surprise there. Sunken because we know there's a Vulture. And Starport. Are we going to do one Starport, two Starport with Cloak? Or are we just going to do one Starport Wraith, a little bit of harassment there, and there's an Armory. Hang on a second. Going to be a Wraith, maybe into a Valkyrie? Maybe into two-port Valkyrie? I like this Shinee. I like this weird opening. Macro hatch at the front, helping to wall off against Vultures. Effort doing everything okay here. Speed for Vultures on the way. I'm going to guess it's going to be Spider Mines as the second upgrade. And this SCV is, there you go, very suspicious. And he's going to build an engineering bay here, right where a ComSat would go. All right. Gonna have to move it. But moving it when you're going mech is not a big deal, because you don't need upgrades for the Marines that are not here. Vulture working away on this egg. Gonna take a while, man. Wraith here saying, hey, I don't see any Scourge. Maybe we can harass a couple of these drones. Maybe take down an Overlord. Yeah, we can take down an Overlord. We can supply block the Zerg player here. Maybe we can. No, not quite yet, but close. Evolution Chamber for Spores, I want to say, at this stage of the game. He did see a Wraith. He knows. Lost an Overlord to it. That's okay. This Wraith here is playing the part of a Corsair in a PvZ. Zerg know how to deal with this, right? One Wraith for scouting and taking down Overlords, but second Overlord, there's the supply block. Bam! Dude, Shinee, what an opening here. I love this. I love Wraith openings. I don't know why they're not more popular. And then into Valkyries. Into Spider Mines. Like I said, Vulture coming up, sunken. Hoping to defend. Walling off, taking the place of that egg for walling off is a creep colony. Vultures cannot squeeze back there, and canceled it and reposition. Oh, into a Queen's Nest. On 2 bases. Are we going into Queens? Are we going to get Ensnare in this game? Oh, what a crazy game for 2026 to be found by RJB and sent to me. Incredible stuff here. I'm excited. There's the Hydra Den, but are there any Hydralisks here? Hydra Den for safety maybe, but there's Lurker aspect on the way. Okay. Maybe Dark Swarm Lurker off of 2 bases is the answer. Mutalisks. There we go. We do have Marines. They're fully unupgraded. Not too scary for our friendly Mutalisks. There's only 4 of them. There's a couple Scourge. A couple Scourge chasing this Wraith that has 2 kills. I think those are 2 Overlords. And look at this intercept. Oh, look at the jukes, though. And got a connection, and the Mutalisks follow and kill. Avenged. Avenged are those 2 Overlords. We got a 3rd Valkyrie on the way. Is that a 3rd Valkyrie? Spider Mines being laid at potential 3rd base locations. Good stuff here from Shinee. Attention to detail, always good from him. 3 Valkyries. And then interacts. Okay, so transitioning here into SK Terran. Engineering Bay repositioned, like I said, because we do need a ComSat station, especially if there are lurkers on the way. There's the Academy at 7.5 minutes, but yeah, it's a Wraith Valkyrie opening to counter this Mutalisk opening on 2 hatches. And finally expanding down here at 7 minutes and 50 seconds is the Zerg player effort. Hive on the way. And there is the science facility. So, Lings, no. Vultures have map control right now. Even with speed, with good micro, you can take down infinite Lings with a Vulture, but with a Mutalisk support, no, you cannot. 5-kill Vulture. He's a hero. He's dead. He'll be remembered. Siege tank on the way with siege mode. So this is just kind of a little bit of a hybrid Marine siege tank Valkyrie play. I like this so much from Shinee. It is so interesting compared to the, let's just go SK Terran. No Valkyries, nothing fun like that. No Wraiths, just Marines, medics, fire bats, and science vessels. Hooray. No, we've got tanks mixed in with siege mode. We've got Valkyries to kill every single Mutalisk. There's only 4 of them, to be fair. Lurkers burrowed on the high ground. Adrenal and Defiler Mound on the way from effort. Sniping. Stims on the way. Again, at 9 minutes. It's a late stim, but it's a good one. And Nidus is to defend the 3rd base as well. This is a Vulture hanging out in the 3rd base. I feel like the Overlord sees this. He's like, what comes out of this egg? We can kill it. We can kill it if it's not a Hydralisk or a Mutalisk. If it's a Ling, maybe 2 Lings, we can kill it. No, if it's a drone, we can kill it. But no, it's not. It's a Hydra. So, run! Get out! Surprise! Jump scare! There's the second half of the Nidus. And the 4 Mutalisks. Excellent Vulture control there. Pest control, Vulture control. Call your local Mutalisks. Consume coming in. Man, Adrenal prioritized by effort. I'm loving that. If you want to see a game where somebody forgets entirely, about Adrenal. There are a few of those on this channel, man. Zerg players so forgetful sometimes. Always very frustrating when that happens. Defiler on the way. Consume almost finished. Range for Marines at 10 minutes. And taking a hit there. Oh, Science Vessel goes down. Not great control there on that Science Vessel from Shinee. Effort, bud. Yeah, all you can do is Scourge, just fly towards the target, and if they don't move, hooray, or if they don't juke fast enough, hooray, you win. It's not like you can do anything else, just waiting on the Terran player to kind of screw up at that point. So, move it across as a 2-base attack with Siege Tank support, Marines, Lurkers. That's why, right? Siege Tank versus Lurker, always a good matchup for these tanks. Not even sieging up here, killing these Lurkers. Taking a few more hits than required. Look how injured these tanks are. Oh, one Lurker Spine getting so many kills. That's why Siege Tanks are for clearing them out. Marines, get out of there. You didn't have to do that. Siege Tanks were doing a good job. Well, an okay job. Down to the 3rd base. What's defending it? One Lurker at the top of a ramp. I don't think that's enough, but there's a Nidus, which represents reinforcements. We'll see what reinforcements they need. 3rd base coming in while we're attacking. Yes. Spider Mine connecting on a Lurker. Not something you see all the time, but there you go. So 3 Lurkers, but check it out, man. We got 3 Siege Tanks. Siege mode is done. Uh-oh. We've got Dark Swarm now. Of course we do. Consume is done. Are they close enough together they can get splashed? I don't think so. They are... Oh, they are split out. We don't have any Irradiate because the Science Vessel died to a Scourge. Blah. Plague's coming in here. Potential 4th base getting set up here by Effort. He's at least checking it out. Cracklings running in to Spider Mines and Bunkers and largely getting killed. But hey, they got a good scout off on what's going on here at the front door of the Terran. Sees no 3rd base here. Says, okay. Can live with that. Oh, he's just trying to run by into the 3rd. No! Oh, he did get a kill on the hatchery, though. The 4th base doesn't come up. But he loses everything in the process. Every single medic dies. Every single Marine dies there, too. Blech. We're building the command center over here, hiding it from potential Lings that might come in to try to shut it down. Once again, these Lings have Adrenal. They have a +1 armor and no attack. But Adrenal is as good as, like, having 4 attack, pretty much. Vultures come in, try to snipe some stuff, die immediately, shine. We're being a little bit sloppy here, guy. Tiny bit sloppy. I want to say his PVT is maybe better than his TVZ. Could be wrong. 4th base, yes. 3rd base, yes. Oh, never mind. 3rd base here. 4th base here. Valkyrie's not very good against crackling run-bys into your 3rd, sir. Vultures are for that. And again, Vultures can do pretty well against Lings. When there are Adrenal Lings, though, oh my gosh. It is so hard to deal with it. But hey, they can clean this up. It's like 3 Zerglings in this space. No big deal. A tiny 1 dropship drop. They get the Nidus inside the 3rd base of the Zerg. Going after the guaranteed damage. Yes. Kill those drones. Don't go after the hatchery. That's what we're talking about here. Did have a situation in ASL the other day where that happened, where a Protoss player tried to go for a hatchery and couldn't get it and didn't get it and lost like 7 zealots for nothing. Not good trades, man. Get the hatch. Can't do it. Too much responding. Fall back. Get out of the Dark Swarm. Kill the Lings. Run from the Lurker, guys. They're alive, but they're holding 1 kill. How do those guys have 0 kills? How is there nothing there? Oh, a bit of a more robust Hydro Lurker attack coming into the 3rd base of Shinee at the same time. Not a lot to defend it left over here. These Marines let some Vultures show up to assist. I love this. Spider Mine's happening. Could maybe threaten those drones. If you're careful, the 3rd base is getting targeted by Hydralisks. They have +1 attack and 2 armor, and they're going to get the CC. It's not even trying to run away. This base is being denied by a burrowed Ling, or maybe a Ling that's above ground. I can't quite tell from my perspective, but it's there nevertheless. This is chaos right now. What a game. Nidus Canal, yes. Overlord, seeing the Spider Mines, can't really do much with them with these Lurkers, unfortunately. Vultures come in. Okay, not even a burrowed Ling. Land the command center. Overlord sees that happening. 3rd base is dead. 4th base is barely running here from effort. This base is mining happily, but there are Vultures threatening it constantly. 104 to 99 supply. What a scrap fest this is here on Polestar today. What 2026, man, is giving us some really good games. Really can't complain about it. Charon boost is on the way. I guess, I don't know. Kill Overlords more easily with Charon boosted Goliaths, I suppose. Not the biggest army ever here from effort. Siege tanks are going to do very well, especially sieged up, and that was a bad engagement from Effort, losing every single Hydralisk, barely getting anything done there. New third base happens. Goliath not there to kill this Overlord, who is just kind of parked overhead, not doing any harm, just scouting. Barracks dying means you need... Well, actually, there are multiple barracks around. Oh, he's just transitioning into full mech now. Fair enough, dude. Floating his racks out in order to be a meching player entirely. This is going to burn down in the sky, which I've always felt like should do some damage to something on the ground when buildings die in the sky. Never going to happen, but for lore purposes, that would be neat. Hydras. 2-1 upgrades. As said previously, they're getting a +2 attack too, and a +3 carapace. But Effort's okay, man. Took him a minute to get his 4th base up and rocking, but it is. He's at 62 workers now. He's got that hive. He's had it for a while. Fast hive, always good. 3 basing Terran is good against 4 basing Zerg. And especially with the mech, right? If those lurkers are clumped up inside that Dark Swarm, they're not a problem for the siege tanks. But mass Hydra. Really? That's it? You're going to try to come up this ramp with spider mines and siege tanks? Effort, dude, this is not the place for you. This is the second time he's just run into siege tanks and lost a ton of Hydras. Bit of a sloppy play from both players. Maybe we can see why Shinee didn't qualify for ASL, and I'm not sure how Effort would have done if he'd made it in anyway based on this performance, but again, I think this is probably just a ladder map. So nothing that they're necessarily training for or preparing for like they would an ASL match. Okay, sieged up again. And once again, it's just mass Hydra. There's no Dark Swarm. Nice Scourge connections on those science vessels, though. Yeah, no Dark Swarm, no Plague even to try to help. They got a tank, but how many Hydras have died? Many. 5 kills and 6 kills on those siege tanks. These ones are new. They don't have any kills. 133 to 112 supply. Effort is up. Finally, a Dark Swarm pops. And he relinquishes the position here, decides to move down south. Try to snipe an Overlord on the way out. Again, Goliaths. Not many targets for them here except for Overlords, but hey. Supply is good to kill. I don't know about this. Okay, well, gets 1 lurker inside a Dark Swarm. Don't actually have any science vessels because they've been kept down by the Scourge today so effectively. There's a science vessel there. Irradiate it. Irradiate. Actually, we can just ignore that lurker, right? He's not defending anything. He's not threatening anything. That position doesn't help all that much. This is where you want the 1 lurker inside Dark Swarm, and this is what you want to save the Irradiate for if you can. Irradiates a siege tank, I guess. Was that an accident? I don't see how. I mean, yes, lings that come up and try to kill your tank will get irradiated and maybe die, but I feel like that was a total misclick out of Shinee, man. Lurkers and Dark Swarm are crushing through this position. Where is your detection? The science vessel not in a position to detect anything. Shinee. What is your plan here, sir? Lings rolling up, catching spider mines to the face, but hey, that's why we have 800 lings instead of just 600. Lurkers dying to siege tanks when they come outside of the Dark Swarm very easily. Lings dying there too, and oh no, Dark Swarm Hydra coming from the high ground. Missed chance. There's the Plague on the tanks. Effort is crushing this position. No, nothing available here for the Terran player at all. Hydras versus spider mines going to do very well. 139 to 112 supply. Effort is up. Effort is feeling good. This tank count is not getting to where a meching Terran wants to be. His third base is back. It's barely mining. He could probably use that. I guess he needs more minerals than gas at this stage of the game. Effort actually a little bit low on minerals too. He's got a ton of gas. Interesting. They're both kind of floating a lot of that. Trying to expand down the bottom left. Shinee. Like to see a good 5th base. And if you can split this map in half, you're going to have a pretty darn good time. Gamete Meiosis on the way. He's preparing if he needs queens. Good. Drone snipes at this right side base that Effort took. It's a 5th base for him. Yeah, he's preparing for the time. He will maybe need queens. I don't think he needs them now. He's been able to handle these positions pretty effectively. Yeah, vultures get into that right side base, sniping a ton of those drones. It's 51 drones. It was 60 plus just a minute ago. Overlord down. Tanks holding. Really just tanks by themselves are kind of scary. The queens walk right up and say, how about all these tanks are now broodlings? How do you like the sound of that? Every single tank gets broodling. Oh, and Shinee Taps out. Effort gets the win there. Absolutely crazy hammer there at the end of the game, getting the victory. What a match. And yeah, that's a good way to do it, right? Show up, kill every one of the tanks at your Terran opponent's base. These Lings are rolling in, killing this base too. I'm not sure if this base even exists at this point. It probably does, but it doesn't really matter in the long run. Yeah, so those queens out there with the spawn broodling, they've been hiding. They've been biding their time for a while there. And again, I don't think they were needed, but it was cool. It was a good maneuver. That's all that really matters there, right? As if it was a good maneuver and it wiped out every tank and you're good to go. But yeah, Effort holding pretty effectively against the early harass. With the Wraith, with the Vulture, the Valkyries did keep the Mutas at bay, but you'll notice Effort didn't even really bother to go into Mutalisk. He made 4, maybe 5, went into a super fast Hive, got Dark Swarm, got Hydra Lurker, and then got Cracklings very quickly too. And just use all those tools in his arsenal to deal with the tanks, try to keep the tank count low. The 15 siege tanks never showed up at this base or this front. Never once. They couldn't do it. There was too much aggression on all sides of the map for the tank count to ever get that high. So that is just excellently played by Effort. A couple times a little bit sloppy, right? Maybe lost some units he shouldn't have. Attacked into some siege tank positions that he shouldn't have. Didn't kill any tanks in the process. That's not how you want to do this. But really interesting build from Shinee. I like it a lot. I think it's got some potential. But just never really killed a base of the Zerg at all. And if you don't kill a single base of a Zerg player in 20 minutes, and you lose one of your own, you're probably going to die. Simple as sometimes. 129,000 points to 103,000 points in favor of Effort. It's the outproduction here by Effort. The outkill by Shinee, but not by as much. You'll notice this gap is bigger than this gap. Structures raised 8-2, negligible, and the outspend by Effort is enough. Thank you very much at 8,000 in 19 minutes. What a fantastic game for your Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed it, because that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you like what you saw and what you heard today, you can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.